Now, your name is Johnny Owens from Owens Martial Arts.
Yes, it is.
And let me ask you, you have been through a lot. When presented with a challenging situation, how do you go about handling it?
I guess basically like any normal person would. You know, my martial arts training has been very good for me, and that has taught me some basic precepts. And I try to teach a lot of precepts like respect, honesty, dignity, courage, and uh, just having a good positive outlook, having a good belief system. Um, the challenging part for me is that when it happens, and you've said all these things, you've put all these things out there, you've trained on these things, you've taught people these things all your life, now you have to stand in it. So the challenge for me is to continue to not balk under the pressure of life, be as strong as I possibly can, and to believe in the future, and to believe in myself. Most of all, to stay positive.
What is your creed that your students recite in class?
It's a long creed. I want to recite it all here now, but it begins, I intend to develop myself in a positive manner and to avoid anything that would reduce my mental growth or physical health. I intend to develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best in myself and others. And most of all, I intend to use what I learn in class, constructively and defensively, for the good, and never to hurt anyone.
How do you, as a role model, help our community?
As a role model.
Yes, sir.
That's how I help the community. I do the best I can with what I have all the time. Like my father's always said, we are what we are. So we have to work very hard to make ourselves continually be the best person that we can. It does no good to say one thing and to lead a different life. The fruits of our labor, the flower of our life is who we are. And people see that clearly. You can't say one thing and do another one. You have to be respectful in all that you do. Now, we're all human, and that needs to be taken into consideration. But with that in mind, basically we're strong, we're good, and we have to live by that.
What is your strength pertaining to making a difference?
My strength in making a difference is just to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Just keep it moving. Just keep going. Some days it's hard to get out of bed. Some days it's hard to lift your head up. But you know that you have to. And if you have a purpose, and my purpose is this studio, my purpose is the people that I know that are important, or that I'm important to, that watch me and need me for guidance. That's what keeps me going. Helping other people, putting them first, keeps me moving. When you look at yourself and yourself becomes the focus, you can get very distorted and very sad, and anxiety and all those things can kick in, and I ain't got time for that.
You have taught that karate begins and ends with respect. What is the most important part of karate to you?
Just that. Karate does begin, and karate does end with respect. For me, that means a lot of things, but one of the things it means is that we don't begin karate and end karate when we enter and leave the door. Karate begins with the beginning of our life, once we begin karate, and all through our lives and everything that we do. When I walk into the store or walk down the street or ride my motorcycle or go to church or whatever I do, I represent the martial arts to people. So what they see, a living example of karate is, for a lot of people, is me.
What do you expect from your students?
I expect their best. I expect all that they have. And the challenge for me, and the fun for me, is to help them realize what their best is and what they really have. Because none of us know how far we can go given the proper circumstances. So it's my job to just keep it moving, keep it going, just keep pushing them, keep encouraging them with a lot of love. Love is a many splendid thing. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it comes in the form of push-ups and sit-ups and running and more and more and more. But in the end, it's such a beautiful thing.
What impact have you personally seen as an improvement in your work with the community?
I think the fact that I'm here. You know, I've been in this community, seems like most of my life. I've been doing karate here probably 40 plus years. Time flies. It's amazing to me, and I can't believe it myself that I've been doing this that long. But, you know, I guess I'm just not geared to be in a classroom between four walls and having an administration over me. I like to be able to do the best I can with my life experiences and giving those to the people that I love.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
It's a good question. Um, and you have to begin with the end in mind. You have to begin with where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? My ambition has always been to just keep going. In 5 years, prayerfully, with a lot of help, a lot of encouragement, and a lot of luck, and a lot of love, I hope to still be doing this. As long as my body holds out, my mind holds out, and my spirit stays strong, this is what I love.
What is your motivation on a daily basis?
It changes. I have a great many heroes. My mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters, Jesus Christ, Muhammad Ali. And on a daily basis, as I talk to people and train with people and communicate with people, they become my heroes because everybody's walking a different path. And there are a lot of paths to the top of that mountain. No one's life can be disregarded. Everyone's life is different. So if you take that seriously, you'll learn and you'll be motivated by just people in general and how they make it.
What does being a role model or a hero mean to you?
A lot of weight. A lot of weight. And sometimes I want to get out from under it. You know, one of the reasons I liked my little home I had in Durhamville was because I could get out of here, get out of the studio, and shut the door and just be alone. Alone time, private time is very important to me because it allows me to rejuvenate, to figure out who I am. You know, I think if you don't know who you are and where you're going, you're walking in the dark.
What can others do to help out more in the community?
You got to be true to yourself. We all have this seed in us. We all have a talent. We all have a yearning. And just be true to yourself. Most of all, be the best person that you can. You know, if you don't have something good to say, it's really simple. You just don't say anything at all. Life's not that challenging. I mean, it is challenging, but it's not that difficult to be nice. You know, so many times I'll just say good morning to people, and they'll look at me like I cut their throat. You know, I think good morning means good morning. I'm not asking for anything or looking for anything. I just want to say good morning.
You mentioned a few people that you have looked up to, and anybody who thinks outside themselves and puts others first might be an example of a hero. Who is an example of a hero in our community to you?
In our community, I think the community at large is an example of being a heroic type community. You know, the way this community pulls together, the way we take care of our youngsters in this community, the schools in this community is a good example of a place that people want to be, and mostly because of the nurturing environment that it encompasses.
Do you think anybody can be a hero, and could you explain?
Well, yeah, I mean, you never know what position God will put you into. You never know where you're going to be a second from now. Your life can change, or you can change somebody else's lives in a second. So in that second, you can be a hero, an unforgettable hero. You know, on a general scope, you know, dads and moms and sisters and brothers, we're all heroes to somebody, especially if we choose to be. If you choose not to be a victim, then you're doing your job.
What is your favorite part about being a role model?
I don't have a favorite part about being a role model. These are the boots that I was thrust into. Never planned, never thought, never wanted to be a role model. I just wanted to do my job. I just wanted to do martial arts. I just wanted to be the best that I could be. And in that, somehow, is transformed into this thing called Owen's Martial Arts. And we have a family, and I'm proud of it, but I didn't start with that beginning to influence people or to change people or none of that. It was all just because I loved it and it's what I wanted to do, and it's just turned into something that's bigger than I am.
Did you ever imagine yourself in the position you are in now?
How could you? How could you? For so many reasons and in so many ways, you know. One of the good things that happened, or that's happened through this incident with me, is that it's terrible. And it's so hard to get up in the morning and come to work because you got nothing to go home to. Excuse me. What was the question?
Did you ever imagine yourself in the position you are in now?
No. No.
When did you realize that you wanted to start teaching and making a difference in the community?
I wanted to teach karate the minute I began to learn it because it was so great. It was something I just wanted to share. I was just so excited about this newfound thing that I had. I always loved physical things. I always liked the mental aspect of it, and karate to me was just a miracle. I could do these things with my body, with my mind, and I could become or do anything that I wanted to do with it. I mean, you can take this in any direction that you want to. You can help people, you can love people, or you can hurt people. I've never been in a fight in my entire life. Don't need to be. Don't want to be. You are who you are. People feel and they see who you are, and they just kind of respect that or they don't. But you got to keep on moving.
As a leader in the community, what do you follow to help others?
Simple precepts. I've mentioned a lot of them, some of them. You got to begin with the end in mind. My love for God. Role models such as, Coretta Scott King came to Central New York, and I was a bodyguard for a period of time. Muhammad Ali says some great things. If you listen to some of these athletes that are phenomenal, that do really well, a lot of them are there because they're good people. So if you study some of the things that they say and watch some of the things that they do, it's quite encouraging. If you take time to listen to a child from a child's perspective, you learn a lot because they speak from the heart. They don't talk about stuff that's not relevant. They just talk about what they see, and they're in the moment. And in the moment is where it all happens for me.